Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob continuing the narration and character voicing for the Break the Ice side story in Arknights. And today we're gonna get over the next 3 stages, starting with stage BI-3. Well, 3 stages. Stage, cutscene, stage. Like last time. The parts are chunky. Let's put it like that. Otherwise, would have covered more. But anyway, let's begin with stage 3's story. Title, Inscrutable. Let's begin with the before mission. Status report. Things aren't quite right. The doctor's guess was a hit. A lot of people are gathering over here. Are they setting out for the factories? Yes, I'm sure of it. Stay on their tails. Keep me informed. Roger. And that'll conclude this factory's handover. Everything up until now has been as smooth as ice, thanks to your remediation. I might have been a little neglectful beforehand. I'm very sorry for that. Don't mind it. I'm just a scholar. No. Sorry. No need to be so humble. There's plenty still to come that'll require your guidance. One moment. Do you have some qualms about this, General Wallace? An ambush. That's General Wallace for you. Who are you? We're here to get an explanation. Weiss and the doctor should have just conveyed to the subject's representatives the steps Arknights taking. There must have been some misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Sorry, Mr. Chester, I think you don't get it. Sir Enciotis was tricked by this foreigner. Come again? We were all kept in the dark. We only realized what was happening once someone told us. Mr. Chester, you should know this foreigner's original purpose in Kjerag was to advise on Ripathy and infected handling methods. What's your point? Our informant is never wrong. This foreigner is already in cahoots with Arknights, and it's your job to keep an eye on this guest, General Wallace. Everyone knows Arknights and the Bear Court were never happy with how Sir Enciotis Kjerag. The foreigner is going to say the factory spread Ripathy as an excuse to shut them forever with gross slander against the Lord. You're the one speaking slander. The Pale Roaches would never stoop to such unsightly blows. The Pale Roaches and the Bear Court are all tied up. You don't think anything unsightly. You don't think enough people have lost their lives. Father, are you alright? Come, drink it. Drink, and all will be better. Garagander's tears will cleanse this taint of Chigeti you have left. What proof do you have? You're asking me to prove my own misdeeds. Doctor, this is... What do you think? Don't think you can smooth talk your way out of this. There's only one thing you need to say. Justify yourself to us. Guards, protect our guest. Take them away. Get that foreigner now. Where did you come from? It's not safe here. Time to run, Doctor. The Ursus operator lifts you onto her shoulders and leaps into the forest in giant bounds. You can't stop running. Let's put me down. Oh, alright. I need to reiterate, Doctor. No matter what plans you have, this is far too dangerous. You probably don't remember, but I've told you the same thing many, many times before. Believe me, I believe you. Anyone can make mistakes, even me. If you're willing, I hope you can make my work a bit easier on me. The possibility is not high, but what would you have done if more professional combatants were snuck into that attack? If they brought crossbows, what then? Don't worry, their goal isn't to kill me.
I'll report the situation to the doctor. Captain Sharp and I both followed your confidence messages, heading separately to the Browntails residence and the Silver Ashes factories to pursue suspicious personnel. Our trail ended up converging into one, surprisingly enough. These people were likely incited by the Browntails. Agitating civilians and smearing the competition are both common schemes, but they are crude.
Seems it's to stir conflict between me and the Silver Ashes. But it's also a trap.
What do you mean?
Their equipment and combat strength aren't up to par. It's not even enough to get them out in one piece. Suppose they were arrested and interrogated, and they gave up their source.
Then it would look bad for the Browntails.
That's not the whole point. We're lacking intel. We still can't see the full picture of this incident. No way to actually lock onto the hidden orchestrator of their goals. The one thing we can be sure of is someone wants to disturb the Tree Clan relations. That is to say, they want to shatter the Snow Realm's overall stability. Circumstances are exceptionally dangerous for outsiders like you, Doctor.
What do we do now, Doctor? Should we think of some way to make it back first?
It's not time yet. This incident's far from over. That's right. The Shara is just one small part of a giant storm. But my duty's clear-cut. I'm getting you out of danger, Doctor. I'm going to stop whoever's stirring up the clans. I have to remind you, Doctor, this may have long grown beyond your plans. But since you're so determined, and seeing as you have a good grasp on things, we won't stop you. At this point, do you plan on telling Courier and Matterhorn, and especially Clifford, considering they're all Silver Ashes? No. Agreed. I'm sorry for Clifford, but now that we're here, it's hard for me to fully trust Courier and Matterhorn. For now, take me back.
Is there anyone else?
None, they're all being suppressed.
Then what about the doctor? Whereabouts?
We saw someone taking the doctor away, running into the forest.
Damn. You lot with me. There better not be a single scratch on.
Is it me you're looking for? So you're... I thought you... You thought I ran?
That was a difficult situation there, and I lost my sight of you. I hope you can forgive me. I made a mockery of myself when I should, by all rights, have prioritized your safety. As you can see, the people here have all been contained. Don't move. Settle down.
Don't think we don't know. You're here to frame Sir Enciodas. You self-righteous hypocrite.
Bro.
Lara, why are you here?
Bro, what are you doing?
Why are you all mixed up with these people?
That's my boss.
Leave it. Now's not the time.
Understood, Captain.
To be honest, I have nitpicks with Carlin Trade's factory safety measures.
What?
The Originium transport channels aren't secure enough. Have you told Sir Enciodas about that? You're a nasty piece of work after all. It's the truth.
I don't quite understand, so I have no way to judge it if what you say is true. But it sounds at least somewhat reasonable.
I'll never believe your vile lies, you...
I want you to behave, or else. Have you given a thought to the sort of punishment you'll face for attacking an outside guest of honor in the Vine Bear Court's territory?
So long as it's for Ensiotis.
The Silver Ashes guest attacked by the Silver Ashes subjects? Is there any way this won't smear the Silver Ashes reputation? Is this how you repay Sir Ensiotis?
That.
Think about it. Bro, you used to be so cool-headed. What happened?
Forget it. You wouldn't understand if I told you. General Valles, let these people go.
What?
Consider it compensation for your mistake there.
Are you sure this settles it? Listen up, all of you. If it wasn't for our guest's altruism, you'll all be in far of a canning before the day is out. Reflect on your actions.
Don't think you'll buy us off just like that, you rotten. Leave it, leave it. We're out of time. Don't disgrace the Silver Ashes any more than that. The furious subjects slowly leave, varying expressions of disappointment and spite as they go. The most vitriolic clash for the moment has been diffused. A heavy blizzard is gathering at this moment. Of that much, you're sure. Alright, and now for the after mission story. Hey, did you hear? Supposedly the guest of honor we were keeping an eye on, the doctor or whatever, was attacked by Silver Ashes people. You only heard about it. The news is everywhere. Then why don't you tell me what the hell is going on? What's this doctor person invited? Wasn't this doctor person invited by Ensiotis himself? Well, the version of the story I heard is the attackers apparently thought that after the doctor went over, Arknights offered some under-the-tables deals. Huh? Master Arknights wouldn't do something like that. Dumbass, can't you tell this is obviously nonsense made up by the attackers? If you ask me, after finding out that Arknights is going to be hosting the doctor, Ensiotis is trying to set Arknights up. Maybe the people behind the attack were sent by Ensiotis too. Yeah, that makes sense, just as you said. Then why are we spending all this time keeping tabs on the doctor? They're probably not in cahoots with Ensiotis.
I didn't fully understand you before, so I ask your forgiveness if I have offended you in any way. As you are Ensiotis' honored guest, I should be watching my words. But something doesn't add up about this attack made against you.
Indeed, it doesn't add up. Someone's pulling the strings.
Ensiotis.
No, he doesn't stand to gain anything from this.
I have my own ideas about who's behind it, but...
Huh, well said. Valles, we always said you were a skilled tactician and had a good head on your shoulders, but looks like you still have a lot to learn from the doctor.
You're exactly right, sir.
Oh, right, Valles. Pass this message on for me. My men don't need to keep watch over the doctor anymore. Just focus on guarding our territory. As for the guards the doctor brought along, they will be allowed to come and go freely from now on.
Yes, sir.
I just happened to overhear a bit of your conversation from the hallway. I don't have any interest in your guessing game, but I might be able to offer you some clues. Kiragander is our witness. Doctor, I apologize for the rudeness of the Pale Roach clan. On my name as the head of the House of Pale Roach, I swear to Kiragander that I was not the one who instigated this attack. If you are willing to believe me, let me assure you that there are absolutely no scoundrels in the Pale Roach clan that would carry out such a malicious attack behind my back. Thank you for your trust, Arknights. I never said anything about trusting you, Doctor. But at least I am certain now that you aren't up to any mischief. Doctor, I may not be much of a philosopher, but even a rough around the edges man like me can smell, that there's something unusual brewing in Kierak. The damn NCO is suddenly talking about ceding power to the Saints, then driving Gnosis away, and now putting you in this position. And someone attack you in the midst of it all. Let me be honest, I can't help but to suspect that Ensiotis is up to no good, even if he hasn't shown the slightest flaw in what he's doing. But I'm not going to sit around and wait for the land granted to us by Keragander to fall into danger. In that case, Arctos, what is it? If our enemy is able to predict your response, then they no longer need to use me as a smokescreen. What? Boom. A massive explosion goes off in the distance. The people outside whisper amongst each other, debating whether or not it is going to snow. The people inside lower their heads without a word, shouldering an intangible burden. Gnosis Edelweiss. Madame Ratata's brown tail. It seems like I've finally earned the privilege of talking with you face to face. You can't fool me with that feigned humility, Gnosis. You're plenty smart yourself. Let there be no shady dealings between honest people. If you didn't want something from me, you would have not been trying to meet me again and again. Huh. If you're just trying to assert your dominance here, then I do believe it is time for me to bid thee farewell. Don't be in such a hurry, Gnosis. I have a few questions for you. When I first heard that the Edelweiss clan followed Ensiotis back to Kierak, I frankly was not too surprised. I thought you either had some evidence to prove that the Edelweisses would not be adverse to the Silver Ash clan, or perhaps you had something to hold over Ensiotis. But neither you nor Ensiotis have said anything about what happened back then, while you still allow the Silver Ashes to rebuke you for your shamelessness. What keeps you going? I'm curious. He promised me a future. A future? Kierak's future. An emerging industrial country that would allow me to utilize my talent in research without fear of plagiarism, misuse, or suppression. That's all. Needless to say, I never expected you to understand in the first place, Ratatos. You will never be a researcher after all. It may be difficult for you to understand how thrilling it is to freely explore the innovation and application of technology, backed by plenty of resources and privilege, to be given a legitimate purpose. So that's the deal you struck. You give him your skills and he provides you a stage. And then what? Surely you aren't going to tell me that he pushed you out and made you take the fall just to protect himself. Is this all that Carlin Trade's cost-benefit analysis amounts to? You seem to have a lot of faith in Carlin Trade. Why didn't you accept the offer to work under Ensiotis 2 years ago? Don't be ridiculous. No matter how powerful Ensiotis is, he cannot change the fate that he has been deeply rooted in the bones of our people for thousands of years. Carlin Trade can only grow as big as the Tree Clan Council and Divine Bear Court allow, and it is impossible for Kierak to industrialize. Wait, so he's found a new bargaining chip? Exactly. There was no way for Ensiotis to turn the people of Kierak against Kieragander, so he had to reach a compromise. But he's been stuck there for far too long. No matter how many times I tried to push him, he seems indifferent. Until there finally came an opportunity to turn things around. Encia's orypathy symptoms are under control, and though there still isn't a cure, she was able to return to him alive and well. And exactly told him that it might be possible to deepen cooperation with an outside party to better control the spread and harm of orypathy at a lower cost. No, Ensiotis wouldn't... Of course not. Once the gate to Kierak is open, it cannot be completely sealed again. The number of infected living in Kierak will only increase. This is the reality of our world. During the process of Kierak's continued development, the ability to deal with orypathy will ultimately become a new bargaining chip.
He is about to make the people of Kierak decide between faith and technology, and faith alone will no longer protect them from oripathy. Empty rhetoric. There's no proof. Come with me then. Bring your people along, including those who can fight, and I will show you something.
Alright, and now for the cutscene only in between this stage and the next one. Titled Winter Mountain is Coming, and really that's the name. Anyway, it reads, reality is more terrifying than fiction, and man-made disasters is more unpredictable than a catastrophe.
Hey, did you come all the way out to the boonies to dig up something good for me?
For death and destruction, naturally.
Keep running your mouth. Though as long as I'm on the giving side of death and destruction, I'm alright.
Almost here. Do you still remember anything about this place, Ratatos?
If memory serves me right, this road leading out of Kierak has long been abandoned since the wind and snow took down the bridge. Blizzards are frequent, and even reinforced bridges are hard to secure. The people have all but given up on redeveloping this road here.
How many hands do you have at the Tricum Pass?
Enough to let me know who and what Ensiodes deals with every day.
Then do you know how much military equipment and personnel have passed into Kierak under your nose lately?
Are you saying that Ensiodes bypassed Tricum and opened a railway out in a place like this? That's ludicrous.
Look, it's coming.
But that road leads straight down into a canyon.
Not anymore.
Impossible!
Tools were used to enclose the bridges, tracks, and lead-bearing structures into the cliffs on both sides. To avoid prying eyes and ears, the structure extends from the mountain to form a bridge only when a train is about to pass. Such a simple idea, yet incredibly intricate to implement. A pity that I didn't come up with it. The fresh snow on the ground shudders imperceptibly, and a faint sound gradually grows stronger. The bridge's bearings spring to life with sparks of light, just as the light of civilization shines into Kierak. The head of the train gallops over the bridge, segment after segment following behind it. Flames begin to dance as if awakened by the weight of the train. The youth turns to face the crowd and snaps his fingers. The burning light suddenly expands, becoming brighter and warmer, engulfing several carriages in the middle of the train like a bonfire on a festival night. Finally, unable to swallow what it had engulfed, the flame brutally split the carriage with a deafening roar. Scintillating metallic objects splash forth like fireworks, clinking and clattering against the tenacious and resilient steel bars of the bridge before plummeting straight down. A fur shovel dances in the flame's wake, but the sophisticated tactical suit seems indifferent. Not a soul knows if all this happened too quickly, or if the spectacle simply paralyzed the senses. Everyone who witnessed the scene unfolding can only stare blankly and wordlessly for a while. Only the young man flourishes his arts unit nonchalantly, the snow rippling around him in waves. He activates his arts, letting a dazzling standard-issue military saber gently slide down next to his feet. With but a gesture of his hand, the weapon is already in his grasp. Victorian craftsmanship. It's quite sharp. This vague, wispy blue texture I wonder if you've ever seen any similar metals in Silver Ash quarries. Let's get to the point. You want to get information about Ensiotis from me, and I want to use the Browntail's power against him. As I said from the very beginning, I am not the only one here who needs to demonstrate goodwill. I am, after all, too familiar with how the Browntail clan does things. Should you find yourself at a disadvantage, or even realize you cannot deal with Ensiotis at all, you'll capture me right away in an attempt to carry favor with him. But time is short. Even I cannot estimate how many people Ensiotis plans to bring in, or how many weapons. I need to act now and destroy his transport route before he has enough power to bring everything under the sun into Kiarak. And beyond that, I need to cut off your retreat as soon as you all are now my accomplices. Even if you choose to surrender to Ensiotis, you are all inextricably tied to today's explosion. After I seal off this path, Ensiotis may well lack the manpower to fight Arctos head-on. Now you no longer have a choice.
Come, arrest Gnosis.
Easy now. Ratatus, I take it that this is your answer.
No, Gnosis, you got one of your premises wrong. From the very beginning, I never trusted you. I'd never fall in that easy with a traitor. I've always wondered how you were always walking around all high and mighty, even after getting kicked out of Carlin trade. I always believed that Ensiotis let you go because the information you have means nothing to him, and he expected you to backstab him. I assumed he was using you as an unwitting smoke bomb to mess with us, but that's no longer the case. How could he allow you to go around doing whatever you want, disclosing secrets like these? How could such a crucial route not be guarded by any garrison troops?
You're right. We're talking about Ensiotis here. He'd never let his guard down. Don't be so hasty. After all, their original mission was to cover up the traces left in the snow by the train. Don't get too ahead of yourself, Gnosis. Allow me to introduce the squad Ensiotis has been training in secret. Codename Chigete.
What did you say? Chigete?
They shall be as the Chigete of ancient legend, not baptized in the glory of Kiaragandr, challenging superstition with pure strength. The Chigete of legend that hide in the depths of the highlands' snow-capped mountains. They wear disconcerting masks, tie huge bells to their bodies, and wrap animal pelts around them. Kiarak children cry at the mention of their name. But they are nothing more than legends. The outfits worn by the troops in front of her bear little resemblance to the equipment scattered from the train. Seeing the masks on their faces, Ratatas cannot help but shiver. The tolerance that the master afforded you was graciously repaired with betrayal. Round them up. Ratatas, it is your turn to show your loyalty.
I remember this.
There is about to be an accidental avalanche caused by a lightning strike. The subordinates secretly dispatched here by Ensiotis are, unfortunately, about to disappear. The name of the squad was something like Chageti. There weren't many present, but seemed to have all been taken alive by Ratatas. The other two Chageti in charge of the freight train survived, but were also locked up. That's the extent of what I saw, and confident I wasn't seen. Ensiotis certainly would not see this as a simple natural disaster either.
Doctor, over here!
To avoid drawing the Silver Ash clan's suspicion, I will back out for now and await the doctor's further instructions. Clifford.
Hey, I'm glad to see you still kicking, Doctor. Sheesh, they told me I wouldn't be able to see you because you'd been tied up with official business or something. I was really worried that you'd be struck with the pale roaches until the ceremony was over. Oh, but I heard that you're getting along well, Mr. Arctus. Not sure why that would surprise me, though. After all, you're really popular around Rhode Island. Oh, right. Is there anything I can help you with, Doctor? I feel bad that it's been one thing after another since you came here, so I was thinking I could maybe run some errands for you.
Can you say hello to the Saintess for me?
My sister's been awfully busy lately. Even I haven't had a chance to see her. But if you really want to meet, but if you really need me to, I can climb up the mountain and pay a secret visit. I just wanted to help you out, but I just made you worry even more about me.
Can you tell me some Kiarak folktales then? Like about the Chigeti?
Whoa, where'd you hear that word? Well, it's actually an old legend that goes way back. Thousands of years ago, when Kiaragandr was protecting her people from the wind and snow, a group of mountain savages rejected her blessings. Among them...
We've confirmed that several segments of the track suffered similar damage. The losses have been tabulated, and repairing them will take some time. But more critically, of the points of access between Kiarak and the outside world, several of the routes that were completely under our control have been cut off. In other words, outside forces will no longer be able to enter Kiarak without great effort. But we still have a relative abundance of various supplies and materials in our reserve, enough to hold out while the tracks are being repaired. That's not the important part. Additionally, we've confirmed that Gnosis and Ratatas have been in contact and have been lingering around the borders. Of course. And what of the Doctor? The Pale Roaches clan is no longer keeping a close watch on the Doctor, and the guards are so discreet that we are unable to track them. Very well, you may go now. Yes, sir. Well done. I must admit, this came out as a bit of a surprise, but Gnosis indeed has the capacity to pull off something like this. Your idea of trust is rather twisted. He bore the burdens of Carlin trade for so many years, so it's only natural that he would have the ability to exceed my expectation in certain areas. This is not trust, but rather a base requirement. A requirement that the Silver Ash clan has of its associates. I always thought I would have the right to shoulder Kiaragander's burden only when I was prepared to shoulder all of Kiarag. It has been too long since the Tree Clan Council and Divine Bear Court left this burden. Don't tell me that's why you and the Saintess have to shoulder all of Kiarag. She may eventually come to make the same choice. And I need to prepare for the next step. Oh. Okay, now for the final part of the day, Stage 4 story, titled Find Your Way Through the Snow. Let's start with the before story. Enya, I hope you will work to become the Saintess. Why? For Collar and Trade to go further in Kiarag, we need a Saintess, and this is the perfect opportunity. Why? Of course, things won't be so simple. You and I know exactly what the other two clans are planning, and I believe that as soon as you are touched by the snow, you will pass the trials and become the Saintess. Enya, I know you can do it. What if I don't want to? What if I fail? Of all my arguments and doubts, I voiced not a single one, because I knew exactly how he would respond, just as always. You are a Silver Ash, Enya. Dear, would you look at that? Isn't that Sirenciotis? Impossible. Tomorrow is the day of the Holy Hunt. The Master is surely preparing his offerings to the Saintess. So why would he be patrolling his territory so early in the morning? Wait, that really is Sir Ensiodas.
I heard it used to be forbidden to ride burden beasts to Mount Carlan, especially those seeking an audience with the Saintess. They had to keep their palms together, eyes on the ground, head bowed in prayer for the moment they left home. Look at the Master now. Does he intend to follow the old tradition?
Yeah, I've heard of that tradition before, but the Master, even someone of his status, intends to walk up the mountain one step at a time with his head bowed.
What are you talking about? The Master is also a child of Kieragander. Don't tell me you're one of those pale roach idiots who've forgotten the scriptures.
What kind of fool do you think me for? That's not what I meant. I'm just worried about the Master. You know as well as I do that the other two clans are insatiable. The Master proposed to return the Saintess to power, and they weren't too happy about that. They are jealous of all the progress that the Master has brought, and he will sabotage one of our railways. I had heard they're in bed together now, working to keep Karak sealed.
They wouldn't dare. Resorting to violence right before Kieragander's eyes would anger her.
Is there anything they wouldn't do? Today, the Master is walking through the streets unarmed. Tomorrow, the Tree Clan will be sending their forces up the mountain to hunt. What kind of blasphemy could they possibly commit?
Hush, you're going to invite misfortune if you keep talking like that. Oh, Kieragander, please, bless the Master with a safe journey.
Oh, Kieragander, please bless the Master with a safe journey. Ensiodas, I don't think we'd seen any worshippers as devout as you in this day and age.
Ah, my apologies, Mr. Pale. The Master is participating in an important ceremony and has to pray all the way there, so he cannot answer you right now. But allow me to offer you my regards on his behalf.
No worries, I'm the one at fault. Oh, Kieragander, please forgive me. However, the road from Turicum to Karlan is long, and I'm afraid that others will be worried if they see Ensiodas like this.
Don't worry, the Master made up his mind to do this long ago. We will protect him all the way.
Ah, that's a relief. May Kieragander bless Silverash.
May Kieragander bless you as well. It always feels like the beasts are panicking before the hunt even begins. You can tell the beasts are behaving just from looking out the window. From the shifting of the snow. That being said, make sure you watch your feet tomorrow on the day of the Holy Hunt. The Great Elder is here. I have plenty of things to watch out for as it is.
Are you ready, Enya?
I've prepared my luggage and my speech. Don't worry, Great Elder. This isn't the first time I've done the ceremony.
This one will be unlike anything in the past.
I heard that Ensiodas is coming to visit Kieragander.
It's good that he's willing to show piety at a time like this. Silverash also ordered a number of idols from the Weinberg court not long ago, and enshrined them in places that lacked them.
Did Ensiodas really become so religious overnight?
Saintess, whether or not his devotion is true is for her to judge. It is not our place. But even those ignorant of Kieragander will be converted and pray to her after seeing a majestic aurora. Looking at things this way, to become devout overnight is actually a manifestation of her power. Regardless of Ensiodas' motivations, his conduct is beyond reproach. As long as he upholds the faith with his actions, then there is nothing for you to be concerned about, Saintess. In the end, all the people of Kierag must bow through thousands of years of tradition.
I hope so.
Ensiodas aside, the other two clan leaders will head up the mountain and wait. Since you are willing to will be accepting the transfer of power from the three clans, your speech will need to be more than just satisfactory. Whether during the Holy Hunt or the ceremony itself, if you seem to display any sort of bias, towards the three clans, people will immediately interpret that as a sign that a clan has gained or lost power.
I understand the significance of the bell that I hold, and have thought extensively about how to wield it. There's just one more thing, the hunting longbow. Please allow me to use it.
Enya, you are familiar with the records of the previous Saintesses, and should know that the Saintess is not required to personally join the hunt. Were you planning to use this longbow at the ceremony initiating the Holy Hunt?
Although the Saintess is not required to personally join the hunt, it should not be an affront to Kiaragandra if she does so.
This has been the tradition in the Vine Bear Court for thousands of years. You must not disregard your status, Saintess. The Saintess must accept the offerings of the three clans on behalf of Kiaragandr, bestowing food upon Kiaragandra's children in her place during the ceremony. What would it mean if the Saintess hunted the prey with her own hands? Besides, this isn't some kind of safari for your amusement.
You're right. In thousands of years, there has never been a precedent for three clans to cede power to the Vine Bear Court. The transfer of power was originally meant to be a peacekeeping measure, but these days turmoil boils up beneath Mount Carlan, and the land meant to be handed to the Saintess is being senselessly torn apart. As if they are not afraid to blaspheme Kiaragandr.
Kiaragandra's children need the Saintess to appease her anger and show her that the pious hearts of the people of Kierag have not changed for thousands of years.
Maybe what Kiaragandr needs is a Saintess who will convey her warmth.
Don't invite ill omens within the temple.
And in addition, those who toil will hold power, and those who idle will suffer. Though the three clans are supposedly ceding their power to the Saintess, is it not for the sake of handing over any true authority? But in order to maintain the faith's standing, I cannot simply wait for the bounties of the three clans. I am not trying to portray them as incompetent, but rather leading by example.
If maintaining the faith's standing is what you care about, then it is impossible to speak of change.
Kiaragandra's children have already moved forward. The prayers they offer to her are certainly different from what they were 1,000 years ago. And surely she is not responding to them the same way she did 1,000 years ago. I can hear that the master set off from the old Silver Ash estate early in the morning and walked all the way here on his 2 feet, without resting or taking even a single sip of water. Dad, let's fetch a bowl of water for him.
To follow the old ways, he cannot even drink or sleep the entire way there.
But it's been already a whole day, Dad. The town is only halfway up the mountain. He's about to leave, and the sun's going to set soon. Who knows what kind of dangers are out there in the snow?
Oh, he's coming. Silver Ash's team quietly passes through the streets at dusk, and Siodos keeps his head bowed, his palms folded as he silently prays in the direction of Mount Carlan in the distance. Those who hear his footsteps peek out from the windows curiously, leave their doorways, or stand on both sides of their street.
Dad, if I can't get him some water to drink, then I want to follow him to the foot of Mount Carlan. I decided to follow the master when he opened a factory to teach me about technology. Now that he's demonstrating his faith and going to worship at Mount Carlan, that makes me want to follow him even more.
Without a word, the people stand up, go down the stairs, and follow the Silver Ash guards into the snow. Alright, and let's finish it off today with the after story for stage BI4. Sir, have some water. You haven't had so much as a sip since yesterday. You still have a hunt later. This is too... No need. But... this is my decision. Don't make me say this twice, Matterhorn.
Give it up, Matterhorn. You know better than anyone how stubborn Sir Ensiotis is. You knew he wouldn't accept, so why ask?
I must at least try. This is too risky.
Risk and opportunity are two sides of the same coin. It's always been this way for us. All we have to do is listen to him. It's cold. The snowstorm is getting stronger, isn't it? He's taking too long. What a showy guy he must be to have the two other clans wait for him.
Walking all the way here, that's not so bad if you ask me.
What a surprise. You are commending him. From what I heard, Ensiotis is enjoying quite the celebrity status on his way here. Arctos, you'd best be careful. Give it a few more days and Kiaragandra's most devout followers will be Ensiotis instead of you.
Enough of your jabs, Ratatos. I don't trust Ensiotis, but if he does the right thing, who am I to argue? Now, if you brought me here just to say this, you'll have to excuse me.
I don't have much free time on my hands, Arctos. I just wanted to remind you.
There's nothing I need you, of all people, to remind me of.
Are you sure about that? Arctos, bickering at each other isn't going to help either of us. Given these circumstances, our families have the strongest ties.
I'm not the one who's bickering, Ratatos. I don't like how you and Ensiotis are always beating around the bush. I care about their actions and nothing more.
You care about actions. Perfect then. Let's talk about the explosion 2 days ago.
What? Are you going to tell me that was the Browntails doing? I'm not falling for that. That's not your style. Or are you trying to say you know who's behind it?
What if I tell you I really do?
You're not kidding.
Definitely not. Why don't you take a guess who gave us a helping hand? Monk, just where did she go? Are you looking for me, madam? Do you really need to ask? You're usually pretty quick on your feet. Why are you wandering about like you're going to the park? Now of all times, I told you we must be ready for this hunt. Whatever are your preparations going? To tell you the truth, Monk, you're the most dependable warrior I have. It's all down to you whether I can bring honor to the Browntail clan and get back at that bitch Ratatos. Madam, if I may speak my mind. If you have something to say, say it. Right. As I see it, if you truly wish to impress Matriarch Ratatos with such a fine performance that she sees you in a new light, I'm afraid you should set your eyes on more than just a hunt. I'm aware of that, but what else could I do? Ratatos always has everything thought out well in advance. It's like she's not giving me any chances. I'll admit she's a little smarter than me. But I'm not useless either. That's why you have to make sure you do your job well, no matter what it takes, Monk. You and I will sap some of that stinking bitch's arrogance together. I will show her how amazing I can be. I understand how you feel about the Browntails, madam. But in that case, you should really set your eyes on more than just a hunt. Tell me then, what else could we do? If you trust my judgment... What are you talking about? If I don't trust you, who else could I trust? I appreciate your trust, madam, so please, leave this matter to me. I have a few ideas, but we need to be careful. It's not the right time to jump to conclusions. As for you, madam, to make sure everything goes well, please do not tell Sir Yucatan about this affair. Not even Yucatan? Right, he's always in the way, treating me like a little girl. He even tells on me to Ratatos, as if I don't know. I leave everything to you, Monk. Don't disappoint me. Of course, please rest assured. When all is said and done, I'll make sure you will get your time in the limelight. The sound of the bell rings from her heart, from her pure soul. Those who love her cast their heads down to listen. Kieragander shines her countenance upon all her faithful children. Listen, the bells of the hour have chimed. You were almost late, Sir Enciodis.
I beg forgiveness. The path of the landman is always a treacherous one. This, too, must be one of Kieragander's trials for the Silver Ashes.
You walked all the way from Turicum to Mount Carlin. It must have been an exhausting journey. However, I hope you will find your right path forward.
With your blessing, Great Saintess, the path ahead is shrouded no more. Even as we speak, I am making my way toward Kieragander's teachings.
You have a fine way with words, Sir Enciodis.
You flatter me. I am profoundly humbled to be welcomed by the Great Saintess herself.
With the pomp and circumstance of your entrance, I wouldn't dare to give you the cold shoulder, Sir Enciodis.
Where can I find the Great Elder, if I may ask?
The Great Elder is preparing for the ceremony, such it is why I am here to receive you myself. For this holy hunt, I shall follow Kieragander's will and stand alongside you to bring the ceremony to a successful conclusion.
You mean you will personally take to the hunting grounds?
Do you not think my decision is a rash one, Sir Enciodis?
No, not in the slightest. I am simply overcome with emotion. It seems you have come to realize the gravity of your position as leader of the three clans. It's a fortunate thing for Kierak.
It's my responsibility. Great Saintess, Sir Enciodis, the holy hunt will begin shortly. Please hurry. It's nearly time. Please come with me, Sir Enciodis.
After you, Great Saintess.
Sir Enciodis.
What is it?
Whether your path is right or wrong, Kierak has its own path to follow. No one can decide for all of Kieragander's children.
I feel the same way. Our merits are not for others to judge. Now that things have come to this, there is no reason for me to back away. With my actions, I did all that I could, nothing more.
By Kieraгаnder, I, a Saintess, hereby declare I shall lead Kierak's finest warriors to find and lay waste to all of Chigeti hiding in the mountains, so that Kierak may have peace.
By Kieragander, I, Arcturus, as always, will lead my warriors of the House of Pale Roach, following the Saintess in her quest to find all of Chigeti hiding in the mountains, and to bring back the most magnificent prey.
By Kieraгаnder, I, Ratatas, as always, will lead my warriors of the House of Browntail, following the Saintess in her quest to hunt down all Chigeti hiding in the mountains, and to bring back the most exquisite prey.
By Kieragander, I, Enciodis, as always, will lead my warriors of the House of Silver Ash, following the Saintess in her quest to suppress all Chigeti hiding in the mountains, and to bring back the most ferocious prey.
May our faith reach Kieraгаnder, and may prosperity reach Kierak.
May our faith reach Kieraгаnder, and may prosperity reach Kierak. May our faith reach Kieraгаnder, and may prosperity reach Kierak. May our faith reach Kieraгаnder, and may prosperity reach Kierak.
Everyone, please check your equipment. Let the hunt begin.
Alright, this will do it for today. So, okay, so what is today? Saturday. Okay, the next part should be around Monday, Tuesday, and I'll try to bring out the last part then, considering I'm gonna be splitting this into at least 2 more parts. There's still a lot of story. And I don't want to wreck my freaking voice like on part 1 that was literally 2 hours. Oh. So yeah, anyway, I will see you in the next part. Until then, thank you for listening, and bye-bye.